pixie doll, welcome back to the channel. I'm Crystal, aka the Wholesome Witch, and today we are doing another Coffee Coven Chat, but today I'm doing my first Q&A that I've done on here. So I reached out on Instagram and asked if you guys had any questions, and I got a few responses. Some questions were duplicated, but I've compiled a list in a notebook because I'm old school like that, of 13 questions that seem to be the most common ones. And it's the first Q&A. I didn't want it to be too long. So let's see how long it takes me to get through these 13 questions. Also thought, what a good number to have, 13. So let's get right into it. My cat has joined me and is demanding pets. Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna pet her and I'm gonna start to answer the questions as well. She's laid right on top of them. Yes, you. So question number one that I got quite a bit was why/how did you move to Scotland? In a nutshell, my partner got offered a position at a museum here, and it's not the kind of life opportunity you pass up. So obviously she said yes, and it was not an easy venture. It had a lot of ups and downs, getting everything sorted and getting ourselves over here, and our cats as well. But yeah, that's why I'm here. My partner got offered a job. If you want like a full video of how we did it or the process of the whole situation, then comment down below and let me know, and I'll make a video about how it all went down and what we learned. We learned a lot in the process. The second question that I got quite a bit of was, where in Canada are you from? And I was surprised that so many people were asking. If you followed me for a long time, you'll know that I was in Toronto, but I was born on the east coast of Canada in New Brunswick, and I grew up there, and then I moved to Nova Scotia for a couple of years, and then I moved to Toronto and was there for 19 years, almost 20 years. And then I came here. So Canadian, current living in Scotland, and I guess people are always interested in how that kind of transpires. So anyways, like I said, if you want a video about the moving and all of that, then comment down below, let me know. Then another very common question I got, and have gotten actually over the past few years, is my skincare routine. None of these are questions about magic or my practice or anything like that, but they're questions that kept coming up, so I'm gonna address them. My skincare routine, I do have a good skincare routine that actually I used to just be really random about it, and I would wash and moisturize and that's pretty much it. But I started making my own products, and that's what really got me into having a full system. I don't have my own products at the moment. I'm buying stuff, but because I didn't bring all my stuff over with me, and I just haven't rebought all the equipment I kind of want/require to make my own. Anyways, that's a whole other discussion. So I have a 5-step system that I currently do for my skin. I remove my makeup, I cleanse, I tone, I do an under eye treatment, and then I moisturize. I don't have, at the moment, one singular brand that I'm like, I love this brand, I use all their products for my face. Do not have that right now. Like I said, for many years I was using my own stuff, and I actually miss using my own stuff. But I haven't, like I said, I haven't got my act together in order to start making them again. So I will give you a couple of brands that I like. I love Elf Cosmetics. I like their face stuff. It's all really great. I love all their stuff. I like Goodness. They have some really good stuff. I have their under eye cream right now, and I'm loving it. I like Sukin. Sukin has some really nice stuff. There's another one, I can't remember the name. I'll put it on the screen. I really like their stuff. And I'm always on the lookout to try new stuff. And I'll often go somewhere like TK Maxx or Winners, if you're in North America, and just see what they have. And I have found some gems there. The first time I found Goodness was at TK Maxx, and you run the risk of never finding the items again if you get them at TK Maxx or Winners, because sometimes they get like the discontinued stuff. But it's my favorite place to go and kind of discover new products, because the prices are always right, and I feel okay like trying something new, because you don't always know if you're gonna like what you buy. So that's where I normally get my skincare stuff. And like I said, I don't have one brand, but those few brands I just mentioned are ones that I really enjoy. So you could check out their stuff if you want. I think because so many people ask this question, I mean, thank you. I guess it's a compliment if you're asking about my skin. So thank you. And because so many people are asking about it, I'm going to do a skincare video, and I'm going to include like magical stuff I do within the routine as well. So stay tuned for that. It'll be more in depth. But yeah, I do this routine morning and evening. And there's lots of lifestyle factors as well that I believe anyway, not that I believe, that do play a factor in your skin. Things like eating a good diet, getting enough rest, exercise, you know, making sure you're detoxing your body properly. All those things play a role, and I do pay attention to all those things on the day-to-day. I don't drink alcohol. That also makes a difference. So yeah, that's what I do. I'll do the video, and then it'll be more in-depth just because I said like quite a few people were asking about my skin care routine. So that's gonna come your way sometime in the not too distant future. What else came up quite a lot? How do you have a 19-year-old? This question came up a lot, and I think it's like supposed to be a joke. But I guess again I'll say thank you. Thank you. I mean, I don't think I have to tell you how I have a child. You know how it works. I did have them when I was in my early 20s, so you know that makes a difference. And most people, I feel, at least our generation, my generation, tend to have kids, you know, more in their 30s. So if that's the norm and I had him at 35, then I would be like 55 years old, which I am not. So I had him in my early 20s. So I guess that's why. I'm 42 now and he's 19. That's that. And next question. Do you do tarot readings like for other people? No, I do not. I only do them for myself. And it's not something I'm ever going to do for other people. It's something that's personal to me, and I like to do it for me. And yeah, I don't think I would do one-on-one personal readings. But few people ask that, I guess because lots of people do them. So especially like in the spiritual community, lots of people do them even if they do other things. So I guess that's where that question comes from. But the answer is no, I do not do those. Next question. Another work question that a few people ask, do I work with people one-on-one as like mentor or doing specific programs for individual people one-on-one? Another thing that I do not do, maybe in the future I will do it, we'll see, maybe some sort of mentoring or something like that. But at the moment, no, that isn't something that I do. And then what's your sign? My sign, I am a Taurus sun, Taurus moon, Leo rising. Those are my three big ones. Double Taurus, Leo rising. But I'll be honest, I always just feel like a Taurus. I know possibly there are some Leo traits in there. But the Taurus in me is very strong. It definitely dominates, and it's kind of obvious I have a double Taurus placement. I love being a Taurus. I love the month of May. And yeah, I think it's a good sign. Next, people ask me a lot about the individual properties of foods. So they'll just like DM me and be like, hey, this food's been showing up a lot in my life. What does it mean? Or how can I work with it? This type of thing. Every food has their own properties. If you're interested in learning more about the properties of food and how you can use them, I would recommend investing in some resources if it's at all possible for you to do. You can always, you know, use the internet and Google. There are some websites that have, you know, food listings and the meanings and all of this. But I would, if you can, I'd recommend investing in a book, or I have on my online shop resource package that's specific to kitchen witchery, and it has like foods and all their properties and herbs, and it has something like over 250 different foods and culinary herbs and their properties. And then it has other ways to work with them, things like this. So you might want to invest in something like that. I will link it down below, or just buy yourself a good kitchen witch book, and they'll have foods with lots of properties and history of the food, traditions, things like this. Recipes as well always come in these books. So if you're really curious about that, then I would highly recommend you invest in a good resource, and then you can refer to it, and eventually the foods that you eat all the time, you're going to just remember the properties of them. Or if something new comes up, like people ask me, oh, I've been seeing this food all the time, or this herb or whatnot, then you'll have a resource you can go and you can look it up, and you know that it's like a reliable source if it's from a book. Yeah, so that's what I would recommend if you're curious to know more. And I think everyone should know more about the properties of food. Big Kitchen Witch fan over here, and I post a lot of Kitchen Witch stuff on my Instagram, which is why probably people write to me and ask. But yeah, that's what I would recommend. To follow that up with a next question that people have asked me is my favorite Kitchen Witch books. So I'm gonna grab them so I can show you. Just one second. Okay, I'm back. This is something I could do a whole video on, my favorite Kitchen Witch books, so maybe I will do that in the future. For today, I will go through real quick ones that I reference often. So I have 4 here that I will show you guys. And I will say, there didn't used to be so many Kitchen Witch books, and now there are quite a few. There's quite a few, and I own quite a few. And a lot of them, not that they're not nice books, a lot of them are just really similar, you know? So these are 4 that I do highly recommend. And I'm going to show you the one that is my OG Kitchen Witch book and the one that I reference the most and have referenced the most throughout my Kitchen Witch journey. And that is Wicca in the Kitchen by Scott Cunningham. You do not need to be Wiccan to get so much out of this book. So if you have like an adverse reaction to it being like, oh, it's a Wiccan book and I don't want it. No. Yes, you do. You do want it. It's great. The interpretations of each food are so nice. You get lots of different elements for each food, planet, the elements associated with the food, the energies of the food. There's some lore of the food, and then it also has like magical uses for each food. So not that I agree with every single thing in here, but it is an absolutely wonderful resource. And it also, so it breaks the foods down into different categories first, like bread and grains, and then like cakes, cookies, blah, blah, vegetables, fruit, spices, herbs have their own section. So it's just really well organized, tea and coffee. And then, but it also has magical food diet section. So it has different properties, intentions, and any foods that relate to that specific thing. So there's a section for love, a section for money, and foods that you might want to eat for that purpose, which I really love about this book. It's what inspired me to do my energetic meal plan resource guide that I put out a couple of years ago now. But it's what inspired me to do that because I thought it was just so wonderful. So I did my own little guide with like meal plans and this kind of thing. And yeah, if you're gonna buy one, I would say buy this one. It's got so much information. And it also, you know, it talks about, you know, the magic in your kitchen is the whole part 1, which just talks about the magic of food and tools you can use and the ritual of eating. And it talks about vegetarianism, which I really, really appreciate. And it also has a section for festival foods. So that's my OG number 1. Always reference this one. Then I have 3 more that are really wonderful. I have the Book of Kitchen Witchery by Cerridwen Greenleaf, and her books are really nice, and this one is very aesthetically, it's so lovely to look at. It's so nice. And this is a great, like, I'll say it's a great beginner Kitchen Witch book, but actually any of them will be. But this one, I love how it's laid out. I love how it's written. I love the illustrations within it. And it has the same, it has spells, it has a section with foods listed and their properties. It has a section on candles, so the different tools you would use in your Kitchen Witch practice. Candles, brooms, cauldron, chalice, bowls. And then it has some recipes as well, which is nice, and herbal recipes as well as food recipes. So this is another one. It also has some spells in here that you can do for the Sabbats. So it has guidance for all the Sabbats, which is nice. Mystical meals and holiday rituals. That's the section. Love it. But yeah, this one is really, really nice. I'll link these down below so you can look at them more. And some of them, I hope you can still buy these. I'm not sure. The Real Witch's Kitchen by Kate West. I had actually wanted this one for a really long time. I could not find it. It was just not available anywhere. And I finally got my hands on one. And I really enjoy it. I like Kate West, I like her books. I also have her gardening, The Real Witch's Garden it's called, and I really like that one as well. So you can check out her books. And you know, it follows the same format. It has recipes, it has spells, it has a directory of different foods and herbs, and then, you know, it talks about tools. This one also has like some oils, lotions, and potions section, which is nice if you like to make your own things like that, which I do. And it's nice. The font is nice. The illustrations are simple but really nicely done. And so that's another one. And then I have the Hearth Witch's Kitchen Herbal, so by Anna Franklin. And Anna Franklin has a whole series, this Hearth Witch series, and I would recommend any of them. I really enjoy them quite a lot. There's tons of recipes in here, so you get so much inspiration from all the books in the series. And this one is specifically for kitchen, so culinary herbs for magic, beauty, and health. Again, it has all the usual layout. I like how Anna writes her books. I like her recipes. They're really accessible. And then the other ones in this series are also really great to have. I have all of them, I'm pretty sure. But I think she came out with a new one recently that I don't have. But anyways, those are the 4 that I have looked at the most, referenced the most, and I do recommend picking them up if you're interested in kitchen witchery. So I don't think you need to buy every kitchen witch book on the market, but there are definitely some good ones out there, and you might be drawn to a different one than I was. So do your research. And yeah, if you're interested in the properties of food, herbs, that kind of thing, I would recommend picking up even just one resource book, or my kitchen witch resource bundle, which I'll put in the description as well in case you want to check it out. Yeah, so that's that question. I can do a video on kitchen witch books if you guys want that. Let me know in the comments if that's something that sounds interesting to you. And then what else? My favorite crystal. This is a hard question because I have a few that I really love. I love carnelian, I love tiger's eye, I love amethyst, lapis lazuli is so good. I love black tourmaline. There's a lot. There's a lot that I really enjoy, but if I had to choose one crystal and only one that I could have with me for the rest of my days, I would probably choose black tourmaline. I love black tourmaline. It's protective, it's grounding, it clears away negative energies. It's a really great all-around crystal if you're going to choose one to wear. So that would be my choice, would be black tourmaline. And moving swiftly on to, oh, I've done 12 already. This is the final question. Oh no, I'm sorry, I have 2 more questions. So one is, have you always been a solitary practitioner? The answer is yes. Yes, I have always been a solitary practitioner. I've never been part of a coven at all. I guess you might wonder why that is. I guess because I've never had the opportunity to. I've never met other people where I was living or at the time that had a coven for me to join. I haven't met a lot of people in my life that are fellow witches. Yeah, I haven't had a lot of witch friends in my life. In real life, I mean, I love you guys. I love my Instagram family over there, community, and it's really fun to interact with you all. But no, I haven't had a lot of witch friends in my life, and I haven't ever been in the situation where there would be a coven for me to join. So I haven't. I've just always been solo, which I think is fine. Sometimes I wonder if I might like a coven experience. I might. I'm very introverted. I'm very shy, but it would be kind of nice, I think, to have a group of people who I felt that connected with and that in sync with, that I would want to be part of a coven like that. I think that would be a nice experience. You can let me know in the comments. Are you a solitary witch or are you part of a coven? I would love to know. It's very interesting. So that was an interesting question. And final question number 13 is, do you have any vegan witch resources that I could recommend? And this is a great question. And I wish I could say yes. There's so many vegan witch resources out there. The truth is there isn't. I'm vegan. The person who asked this question is obviously vegan. And no, there's not dedicated resources for vegan witches. And I don't know, I think that's a bit of a miss. I think there should be, because I think a lot of people in the community are kind of drawn to that vegan lifestyle or vegetarian lifestyle. So my best advice, a couple of things. I mean, anything that I put out, you can be 100% assured that it's vegan. So any of my spells, rituals that I share, my book, The Witch's Guide to Wellness, that's all vegan. The recipes in it, all the materials used are vegan. It's not advertised as such, but it just is. And all of my, any resource, any guides or Grimoire page packages, anything like this, any of the bundles I put out of my digital products, all the stuff is going to be vegan. So, I mean, I guess I'm a resource for vegan witchcraft. I do not know. I mean, and I would love for you guys to comment down below if I'm wrong on any of this, or if there's just things that I don't know about, because maybe there is, and I would love to know about them. So if you guys have any vegan resources, blogs even, books that are vegan, put them in the comments, because I would love to know as well. I don't know a single witch YouTuber, blogger, other than myself, author, that has all vegan resources. I don't, other than me. And I'm sure there must be people out there. I haven't found them. And any of the Kitchen Witch books that I have, they're not vegan. They have, some of them would be vegetarian. Maybe, but not vegan, not entirely. So yeah, I think there should be a 100% vegan Kitchen Witch book or vegan witch book. I would love to write that, put it out there in the universe, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, I wish I could give you more. But other than myself, I don't know of a fully vegan resource out there on the internet or in print. Things that I will say as far as ingredients or substituting, if something, say if you're doing a spell or a ritual, an offering that, you know, calls for milk, for example, just use plant milk. It's symbolically can be the same. And with plant milk, say you use almond milk, then you can also take into consideration the properties of almonds. Or same with coconut milk, you could take into consideration the properties of coconut. So symbolically, just do a swap, use plant milk. If it's an offering to a deity, which probably maybe a controversial topic to if a deity really likes milk offerings. I don't work with deities, just FYI, but if you do, and you do offerings and the deity you work with really loves milk as an offering, if you think your deity wouldn't be okay with a plant milk substitute and you yourself are vegan, maybe you should work with another deity. I don't know. That's my take on it. That's what I would say about that. You don't, like, if honey is called for in a recipe or something, you can use maple syrup instead. If, you know, the honey is used as a connection to bees or whatever, bring in some sort of symbolism of bees instead. If it's for an offering, like they gnomes and that they like honey, or it's written that they like honey, use maple syrup instead. It's the sweetness. The sweetness is still going to be okay. You don't have to use things like bones in your rituals. You don't have to use, I don't know, what else is maybe in some spells or rituals. I don't even know. Because I don't use any of the... But just substitute. Whatever it's supposed to symbolize, like, think of something that would resonate with you more than the animal product that is being suggested. But the most things that I see in witchcraft, or, you know, rituals and in spells is like milk and honey, and they're easily substituted, really. And as far as Kitchen Witch stuff, I mean, other than like myself as a resource, find your favorite recipe creator, use their recipe, and then make your own ritual for that recipe. So it might not be written out as a specific ritual for one thing, but you can always make it into one. You know, put your intentions in, stir clockwise, stir counterclockwise, light candles, you know, do what you need to do to make it a ritual for yourself. So if you're looking for like Kitchen Witch recipes, you can always use regular recipes and just put in the magic bit on your own. Yeah, so I guess that's what I have to say about that. And that was the 13th question. So that brings us to the end of this Coffee Coven Chat and my first Q&A. on YouTube. If you have any questions that maybe you want me to answer in the future, put it in the comments and I'll save them. And then if I do another one of these, if people are interested enough in them, then I'll do another one at some point. Maybe I'll do like one a season or something like this, like for a year maybe. I guess it depends. It depends on you guys and if you have questions and how many questions and how interested you are in these Q&A videos. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate you being here all the way to the end. I will link the few things that I mentioned down below, my Instagram as well, my blog, if you want to check those out. And if the video did resonate, don't forget to like and subscribe down below so you don't miss any upcoming stuff. I have some good things planned for the rest of the summer that I'm excited about, I'm excited to share. And until next time, friend, I am sending you many, many blessings. Bye.